All right, so if we look a little bit more at mutations, you've said that students are not really being taught about mutations. What are they being told anything? And if so, what is it?
So in junior high school, I would say no. Obviously, anywhere like a senior syllabus goes into more detail, but just looking generally speaking at that sort of middle school, lower high school, it's not in any of the science understanding topics, the actual word mutations. Right. I do remember trialling a prac once where we tried to introduce the idea of mutations, and mutations are actually random. They're not directed. An organism can't choose to have a certain part of its genome deleted or extra information inserted.
Right, it's completely random. Before we continue, a quick heads up. Stick around until the end of the interview because we'll be giving away a free stream of our award-winning documentary, Evolution's Achilles Heels. You won't want to miss it. Now, back to the interview.
Yeah, mutations are random. So we tried to do a prac to show randomness of mutations, and you'll have to try to visualize this with me. So we like birds apparently in science classrooms. So we did birds, and if we changed, mutations on where their wings are positioned, their wing length. So we did that by making these paper birds.
Okay.
So just, straws and strips of paper.
Yep.
And we designed one that actually flew really well. Mm-hmm. And so that was our standard point. So we knew that it could fly. So then the prac was introduced to the students with dice. So, roll the die, and if you get, these numbers, you have to move the wing point on the piece of straw a centimetre to the left. And if you roll a number on this die, you have to reduce the size. So it was all just randomness in like what was going to be changed.
So accurately representing what mutations would kind of do.
Yes, exactly. And then so the criteria was that the bird had to fly a certain distance to say that it would be able to survive in the wild, because that's always sort of the clincher in terms of, mutations and natural selection is something can change, but whether it's beneficial to that organism is a completely different matter. So unless it can survive to be able to reproduce, those traits won't be passed on. So we had sort of a distance this thing had to fly to say it could be passed on. What we found, but the prac failed spectacularly because we soon discovered that with random changes, all the birds died because we designed the bird obviously to be able to fly to start with. But as soon as we started changing that randomly, and by random amounts and random numbers, the data that came back at the end of the class was like, well, all the birds died. So if you changed anything, it didn't work. And so we quickly removed that from our repertoire of pracs and decided to delete that entirely because it actually, it worked beautifully from a science point of view to show that mutations pretty much are detrimental to an organism. They're very
why would we keep this experiment in here? It seems like it's actually represented very accurately what happens.
Yes, but it doesn't help the evolution storyline.
Okay.
Because it just introduced so much confusion to students to say, well, hang on, I can now see this happening with my own eyes and it doesn't work. So therefore, that's not helping to prove evolution. So it got waylaid. And we stuck just to natural selection because that's much better.
Even though, again, we've still got natural selection being a process that is not gaining information and going in the wrong direction. Wow, okay. These classrooms are interesting contexts for this stuff. I'd also like to ask, from your opinion and your experience, if someone were to ask you, what would you say should be taught in these classrooms? Should we teach evolution?
I would say absolutely yes. We should teach the theory of evolution because it is the current paradigm that scientists use to explain life in a materialistic way.
Right.
And so for anyone who's looking to pursue a science career, you need to understand what the current science paradigm is. So I think absolutely schools should be teaching evolution, but I think they should be teaching evolution. I think they should be teaching the theory of evolution, not just natural selection, and then saying that that is evolution. I think it needs to be taught honestly. And what that means is saying this is the theory, these are the claims it makes, these are the processes that it says it uses to explain the diversity of life. But then they actually have to be honest to say, well, these are actually some of the faults. These are some of the things that we just don't know. These are some of the things we just take on, dare I say it, faith. It's that leap of, we're just going to presume this happens. So I think absolutely schools should teach the theory of evolution, but they should be doing it in an honest manner.
We do actually have a resource that could support parents in this as well. It's being offered as a free stream, and the link will be in the description below. And it's called Evolution's Achilles Heels. Can you tell us a little bit about this one, Julie?
Yeah, this is a great documentary where 15 PhD scientists got together and filmed this, that they take the 8 claims, largest claims of evolution, and they then set about refuting them. It's a great one where it's pitched for families are able to sit down and watch it and understand it, but it's also something that, university students can engage in as well. Because it's done by chapters, one of the first chapters there is on the topic we've talked about today, natural selection. And so it's a great one where you can sit down, watch a chapter, and then you can discuss it, critique it, come up with lots of your own questions and answers. And then maybe next week you can come back to the next one. So a fantastic one for families, university students, anyone that, as you said, wants to get equipped with understanding a topic that maybe they just have that understanding of, I don't think that this works, but they want to have those resources so that they can engage in conversations with people to be able to articulate, actually, this is why I think that the theory of evolution doesn't hold up.
Fantastic. Julie, thank you so much for all you've brought us through today. It's amazing to be able to see what's going on in our classrooms. Again, the resource, Evolution's Achilles Heels, it's going to be available for a free stream. The link will be in the description below. Thank you so much.
Thank you.